On March 13th, 2023, the Sacramento Kings lost a close game to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, when you look at the score, it may seem like this game wasn't close at all. It ended up being 133 to 124. But if you actually watch the game, then you know that this is far from the truth. Actually, for majority of the game, up until the third quarter, the Kings were leading, and even in the fourth quarter, the Kings were still competing with the Bucks. They were trading blows all throughout the fourth, but as you got closer and closer to the end of the quarter, the more the Bucks began to slip away. However, this was still a great performance by the Kings, and it's actually a testament to how much they've grown. You see, almost a year ago in that same game, they lost another close game to the Bucks. However, instead of it being loss number 27, it was loss number 46. However, this isn't the same team as last year. They made some nice additions, and new coach Mike Brown has them looking like a top team in the league this season. They hold the second seed in a very competitive Western Conference, and despite what some people are saying, I don't think this is a team that many teams should be excited about facing in the playoffs. You see, the playoff race in the West is as close as it's ever been. The 4-seeded Suns and the 12-seeded New Orleans Pelicans are only separated by a total of 4 games. But with the level of consistency the Kings have shown thus far, it's a safe bet to assume that they're going to finish top 3 in the West by the end of the season. How they're doing it? It's actually quite a phenomenal story. Like I mentioned before, the Kings are 42-27 and hold the second seed in the Western Conference. Despite being known as a more defensive-minded coach, Brown is guiding the Kings to an offensive explosion that erupts for a league-high 121 points per game. This offense has looked completely rejuvenated. Brown transformed what was a directionless attack into a pace and space beast that consists of a blender of dribble handoffs, off-ball screens, backdoor cuts, quick decision, and even quicker buckets, as they have the most efficient scoring unit in league history. You see, according to StatMuse, the Kings' 119.3 offensive rating ranks number 1 in NBA history, a point ahead of this season's Denver Nuggets, who are tied with the 2020-21 Nets for second. When your offense is playing at that great of a level, that alone makes you dangerous. But Sacramento has another factor in its favor that many teams in the West don't have. It excels on the road. The Kings have the best road record in the Western Conference, sitting at 21-13. That's better than the conference leading Denver Nuggets, who is second best in 17-18. This is everything. Even though it looks like the Kings will have home court advantage in the playoffs, it's great to know that when they go on the road, it's not going to change anything. They won't struggle like teams such as the Warriors will when they aren't at home. And like I mentioned before, Mike Brown has this offense extremely efficient. They hold the best true shooting percentage in the entire league with 61.3%. And they're among the top 10 teams in the league in three-point percentage with an average of 37% from the three. And they don't turn the ball over either, especially in clutch time when it dips to 8.3%. That makes it the second lowest in clutch time in the NBA and is 4.2% lower than their regular turnover rate. Now, one thing that teams point to when they say they want to face the Kings on the road or that's a favorable matchup for them is that they don't have any experience and they might not be ready for it. But this Kings roster is very legit, and one can actually argue they're the most complete team in the Western Conference right now. In a conference where no one can win a game on the road, the Kings have managed to be 9 games over 500. That record makes them one of the best road teams in the entire NBA. Now, another thing the Kings have in their favor is a legit roster. Some people might overlook them because they're new to the playoffs, and they're right. They are new to success in general, and they have a young team. And this is a valid concern because we've seen young teams struggle in the playoffs before, like the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves last year. But I don't think this is the same with the Kings. When you look at the roster from top to bottom, this roster looks nice. Let's start with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron has been amazing this season. He's averaging 25.5 points per game, 1.2 steals per game, 6.1 assists per game on 60% true shooting. And he also nabbed his first All-Star appearance this season as well. Fox has been crazy this year, especially in the clutch. He's leading the league in clutch situation points and total fourth quarter points. Additionally, he's been extremely dependable and accurate in those situations as a shooter and has an effective field goal of 56.6%. Fox has been absolutely crazy in the clutch this year, and he's running away with the Jerry West Clutch Player of the Year award. No one has just been as consistent at the end of games as he has, and even more impressive is the variety in which he gets these points. He has great control at the rim, where he's finishing at a 78% 37% clip, which is not just a career for himself, but that's the highest mark this season by a guard. His mid-range game has gradually gotten better over his career as well. This is so to the point where he's converting on 50% of those shots, which ranks in the 91st percentile. His three-point efficiency is the only wobbly point of his offensive game, but so far in March, he's been shooting 37% from beyond the arc. Now, once you put that all together, it's no wonder he's been so dangerous with the game on the line and why every team is scared when he has the ball in his hands at the end of close games. He's been one of the best guards in the association this year and is in conversations to be All-NBA, which he would deserve. His co-star Domantas Sabonis has been amazing as well. The forward is currently the best rebounding forward in the NBA. He's been amazing in all facets of the game. He's averaging 19.2 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, 7.2 assists per game on 67.1% true shooting. If he keeps up these averages, he'll become the second player in NBA history who has averaged 19 plus points, 12 plus rebounds, and 7 plus assists on 60+% true shooting. Who was the other player, you ask? Wilt Chamberlain, when he did it during the 1966-1967 NBA season. Anytime your name is legitimately in the mix with the legendary Wilt Chamberlain, statistically, you're doing something right. If you want to find a single game that alludes to how great he's been this season, look no further than their 101-96 win over Brooklyn Nets, where Sabonis put up his most well-rounded game of the season. He scored 24 points, grabbed 21 rebounds, dished out 5 assists, and blocked 4 shots. When talking about Sabonis after the game, Coach Mike Brown said, "I don't know if he knows another way. I think he's got one gear and it's the highest gear. He sets the tone for us with his physicality, and he was great tonight because we stay on him about it. But he's got to continue to play as hard as he does, as physical as he does, but do it while showing his hands so that he doesn't get in early foul trouble." He has been great this season, and like De'Aaron, he's in the mix to be All-NBA this year as well. But the Kings aren't some top-heavy team. They've quietly developed one of the best benches in the association. Sure, everyone talks about Malik Monk, and for good reason. Malik has been great this season, and he's in conversations to be 6th man of the year. But they also have guys like Trey Lyles, Davion Mitchell, Terrence Davis, and most recently Kessler Edwards that could be the difference in the playoffs. As of right now, they're averaging 37.5 points per game. This is a top 10 mark in the league, and it shows you there's plenty of instant offense that comes off the bench. But they also get it done defensively and on the glass. A guy like Davion Mitchell, whose defense is very bothersome to opponents, makes it very hard for people to score on him, and he provides them a good boost on offense and defense coming off the bench. Chimezie Metu has been very impactful in his minutes as well, although they have been limited. The great thing about this group is that on any given night, any one of them is capable of stepping up. Though Malik's production is expected and counted on, the others are free to fulfill their roles as needed depending on the matchup. You see, when you combine a ton of support for their teammates, little to no complaining about minutes and roles, and a sense of willingness to just do your job, that's rare at the professional level, and it can be the difference between a first-round exits and making a legit run in the West. There really isn't much more to say about this Kings team. They're scary, and they are not the team that should be counted out once playoff time comes. There are concerns like their defense and lack of experience, but Coach Mike Brown has these guys looking good, and the further we get through the season, the more playoff ready they look. This, of course, is just my opinion. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'm making videos like this all season and throughout the playoffs, so you should definitely stick around for that. But that's all I have to say for now though. And until next time, peace.